Yes. It's Balloon Party, 101 ESPN. My name is Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Bennett Burkett. This program is presented to you by Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota. Jackson, welcome in. Good news for you. I want this one today.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Oh, they're in there. They're in the YouTube chat, and they're wanting it. They're wanting it, too. YouTube.com, 101 ESPN. And you can watch us. I got my Cardinal cap on. Red Cardinal cap. Home cap.
I got the Navy road cap on.
That's right.
So it's got this big patch on it. I don't like it. I don't like this big Cardinal patch on there. It's a little look at me. I like a patch.
Why are you wearing it?
I don't know. Well, I like the snapback over the fitted cap because my head doesn't fit in any sized fitted cap.
What size fitted cap you wearing?
7 3/8.
Wow, that is large.
That's a weird size. They often don't carry it. And then if I'm hair dependent, like if my hair is long, I need a bigger cap, and if it's shorter, it's too big. So I just get the snapback.
I like a snapback. Mine's fitted here.
Looks better, I think.
The fitted does, or the snapback?
Snapback.
Yeah, I do too. But I got this is fitted. Here, you want to see it?
But then you get the MLB logo on the back.
Let me see. Can you see it?
Yeah. I feel like in the early 2000s, a lot of guys...
Across the nape of my neck.
Yeah, a lot of guys are wearing the fitted caps backwards, and I think that's a bad look. I think a fitted cap backwards.
Do you say that because that's what people in South County still do, and you're like trying to like do that condescending thing you do every day from 10 to 11?
Theoretically, any municipality could have that going on, and I would have the same opinion.
You think it's going on in Huntley?
Just based on volume of humans there, I would say no.
Think it's going on in Clayton?
Yes. I think there's...
I'm going to 3-bet you.
I think there's a couple guys out there.
7 high, honestly. Now, I have 7.5 suited. I can do some stuff with this.
I think there's some guys out there
for the record.
Waking up a little groggy this morning, maybe got after a little bit, a couple of bombs, and then they put on their fitted caps backwards and they head to the gym to try to sweat out the poison.
What gym are they going to in Clayton?
There's that really kind of boutique gym. I don't know if it closed. I think it was called like Wellbridge or something. It's like very small.
Wellbridge, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Wellbridge is there anymore.
Is it not? Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
It seems like you peaked up a little bit though when I said it.
I deliver pizzas there.
Oh, gotcha, right. And you do that just on a side hustle, just to be with the people.
Still open?
You'll still deliver some pies.
Oh, permanently closed.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure there's
what the hell happened?
Lifetime's close drive.
Huh. Wonder when that thing closed. I had a great run there, delivering pizzas.
Right, of course, yeah. I delivered pizzas in South Florida for one night. I
delivered pizzas right here at the Pizza Hut, right at Olive and Craig.
Kind of a fun gig. Kind of
I didn't mind it.
College, high school, really any time. But it's a fun gig. You know, you can work on your own time, listen to music.
Oh, now Jackson is going to break into Misty, look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up in a tree. That's from John Fitzgerald.
Is that what I'm doing? I look like I'm helpless? I got everything going here. We're on the air. Checking multiple boxes. I mean, what else do you want from me?
Air Comfort Service text line is where you can get involved on the program. It's 314-399-9646. And then you got the YouTube chat where plenty of friends have gathered to talk it over and do song requests for Jackson and take questions. What's today's series of questions?
Songs in the key of Piddles.
Okay. All right. Tribute to Stevie Wonder. Jackson, what is our first question here on Balloon Party?
And speaking of Stevie Wonder, just real quick before we get to it. Happy birthday to Matt Rocchio. Happy birthday to you. 33 years young.
Happy birthday
It's our guy. It's our guy, Rock.
Happy birthday. Yeah, you kind of disparage him, though. We have a real love-hate relationship, but I would say it's predominantly love. Big fan of that guy. He's really good. He's a hard worker. He's good people is what he is. He's someone I can trust, and I really like that. Wow, how about that?
But I'm so comfortable with him that I'll rib him. I'll rib him. He ribs back.
Bust his balls just a bit.
Just a little bit. He's got a great head of hair, just a big head. Okay. Paul Skenes tonight for the Pirates as the Cardinals will get an encore from the phenom rookie who seems destined for hardware this season. When was the last time you can remember being this locked into a regular season baseball game just to see an opposing pitcher? I feel like it would have been this way with some of the great pitchers of the 90s and early aughts, but I can't remember anything like that in my baseball life.
I'm going back. I hope you're okay with it.
I want you to go back.
Dwight Gooden.
Dwight Gooden? Okay,
Dwight Gooden.
That's a good answer. It's a really good answer.
Dwight Gooden.
Mets?
I saw on my, I guess Rocchio was talking about his TikTok algorithm.
That's right.
as he was exiting the studio. And yesterday on my TikTok, I saw Dwight Gooden take, I don't know if it's his son or grandson. I guess it could be either one.
Sure.
To meet Pete Rose. And what a pleasant exchange it was.
Was he wearing his white baseball cap with nothing on it?
It's possible that he was wearing that, but I was more focused on the vocal interaction in which Pete Rose says, he's not a big guy, is he? Now, my dad had that same thing when he would introduce me to people.
Sure, but your dad was not.
Dwight Gooden.
Right. And that's tough for a young.
And I'm like, what is Pete Rose saying to Dwight Gooden's son or grandson? He's not a big guy, is he?
And that's what he led with, too. I like that. Charlie Hustle. That's tough. Yeah,
Dwight Gooden's my answer. That was something else back in the Cardinals-Mets rivalry.
Right.
I know I'm going back to the 80s. I'm eliminating a good portion of the audience that's Jackson's age or younger or even a decade older.
Yeah, but you didn't do that with like maybe Maddox or Glavine or Smoltz and the Braves?
I probably not to that extent. I can tell you what I was thinking when the Cardinals would play them. They're going to lose.
Yeah.
And I was in awe of that team, the Braves team.
Sure.
So the Cardinals played them in the NLCS in '96. And it was super exciting, kind of a parallel to if you're a college football team, I guess college basketball, and you're about to pull an upset.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like when they went up 3-1 in that series and then lost the next three. It's like, holy crap. And then when they opened up the NLDS against the Braves, and that was the Ankiel game, who was just on with Randy Carricker and Matt Rocchio and Dan McLaughlin. Brooke, why are you smiling at me like you are wanting to buy me a drink? If you want to go out with me, I'm probably going to need to get a new producer.
Because I just now realized that when you popped up and said, I know Wellbridge, you said you delivered pizzas to a gym. I'm just now putting that together. I'm sorry.
I'm a meat and potatoes guy.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
God, I mean, I love to tell tales on this program. And my producer wants to hook up with me.
Yeah, I delivered pizzas to Wellbridge, the gym.
Jim and Clayton. They ordered pizzas at the gym in Clayton.
And then South City Boy goes and delivers it to them. Too funny. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
Jackson's really just blowing my cover here, and I don't appreciate
I know. I'm sorry.
it. I think Ankiel pitched against Maddox. God, who pitched? Would it have been Kyle against Tom Glavine?
Jeez.
And then the Cardinals won the first two games. I don't know if it was Kyle.
What did this? 2000 NLDS?
I guess it would have been.
2000.
Will Clark had a home run, I believe, off of Glavine, too. Lefty on lefty carnage. Either way, you viewed the Braves otherworldly, but they weren't in the same division as the Cardinals, so it didn't have the same thing like, oh, crap, the Cardinals are playing the Mets and Gooden starting. You just kind of know I don't view the Pirates game tonight that way. I am anxious to watch this game tonight. I agree with you. Even though the weather is going to be glorious, I'll be locked in and looking forward to watching this. The difference with the 2024 Pirates and, say, the 85 or 86 Mets, which, we're talking about one of the great baseball teams of my lifetime anyway, those 80s Mets teams, the 86 Mets in particular, is that I was watching, as high as I am on the Pirates in the playoffs because of the, best of three thing. I don't know how they're going to get a run across the plate. What a lineup. What an operation that is. Now, they were able to get two last night. Was that a wild pitch or pass ball?
I think they call it a wild pitch.
Did they? Okay. Could have gone either way.
Sure.
So either way, that's what they needed in order to get the winning run across last night. I don't know. I'm a little worried about my wager, not because my reasoning was the pitching.
Yeah, but their offense.
Their lineup. Maybe they'll do something at the deadline.
Maybe.
Jeff Passan writing that they're going to be buyers at the deadline about an hour ago on ESPN.com.
When was the last time the Pirates were buyers at the deadline? 15?
When they pissed down their legs and traded for
that's right.
Chris Archer and blew up the franchise for a decade.
Yeah, and really missed it.
5 years.
Glass now. Game one, Rick Ankiel versus Greg Maddox. Both pitched poorly. They only went 4 innings. Game two, Darryl Kyle up against Tom Glavine.
Game three, hold on. Garrett Stevenson for sure. Who was the Braves starter at that point? I mean, would it have been Smoltz? For some reason, I'm thinking Smoltz wasn't there. I'm going to go Kevin Millwood.
Nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah, I was there. I was there in Atlanta. And all fired up. And I was sitting next to Steve Savard, who I guess was kind of my boss at KMOV. And the Cardinals scored a run, and I, hit him with enthusiasm. And I think he looked over, and he probably could barely feel it.
Right. Yeah, right. Did the fly land on me?
And I think he had to be like, what do we got here? We hired this guy, and he's, fist pumping in the press box.
How many months in at that point?
6.
Okay. Yeah.
23 years old.
Yeah. For that Braves
effing nerd.
Unbelievable pitching. The Cardinals scored 7 in game 1, 10 in game 2, and 7 again in game 3.
And let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
Going up against the Mets, who I think were a wild card team, they had to have been because the Braves won the division.
They played the Giants.
They played the Giants.
TS.
It's like this is going to be a pony. Cardinals are going to host the games 1 and 2.
Yep.
And I believe Kyle got beat by Mike Hampton in game 1, and Ankiel went back out there for game 2 and had issues against Al Leiter. I don't know. I don't know these things for certain.
Game 1 lost. Mike Hampton won. Daryl Kyle lost. Game 2, Mike Timlin lost.
But Ankiel started, right?
In game 2, you're saying? I don't know. Ooh.
What an uneasy laugh.
Yes. Yes, he did. Yep. Yes, he started. Cardinals started Rick Ankiel in game 2.
And Timo Perez led off for the Mets?
Oh, boy. Yes. And he scored in that game.
Yeah. Because Cardinal fans went into that thinking, okay, that was a blip.
Yeah.
So this will be fun. He'll come back out there. And then he threw one wild. And everybody kind of laughed like, he's just trying to. And then he threw another one. And then I think at that moment, those who knew the name Steve Blass thought, oh, God, this is...
Yeah, this might be a situation.
This is a problem. Yeah, this is a problem. And the Cardinals lost the first 2 games, and that was similar to when I was at Fenway Park for the 2004 World Series, and I thought, we're not going to be going back to Fenway Park. This thing's going to end in St. Louis. And as the Cardinals left to head to Shea Stadium in 2000, I remember thinking, this series is not going to come back to St. Louis.
Yeah. But they got their revenge in 06. My favorite playoff series ever.
They did. And I would tell you the 2000 team was a better team. And I think a lot of guys in the 2000 and 2016 would tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that there were a lot of guys on that overlap.
They got clutch hits from So Taguchi and Yadier Molina, young Yadier Molina, to get that.
What about the Speezer?
Speezer with a big...
Don't fear the Speezer.
Yeah. Big start out of Jeff Suppan. Huge start.
That's correct.
Jeff Suppan. And
Stephen A. Smith yelled at me when I brought up Jeff Suppan. Do you have the Stephen A. Smith audio for one of your questions? I'm not just saying to play it now, but do we have? I don't know if it ties into one of your questions today on the Little Piddles, something in the love of the Piddles or something.
Yeah, song in the key of Piddles.
Thank you.
I have something about college football, so I can make it connect.
Okay.
I was going to freeze.
Is this where you're going to tell me about your Stanford dynasty on College Football 25?
No. Well, I'll get once I play a full season. I'll get into that.
What's your record right now?
4-2. You gotta go to Clemson. You gotta go to Death Valley. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. Even if Clemson's not great this year.
Is Dabo in there?
Oh yeah, running on the field.
Oh, they show him running on the field?
They show the team running on the field.
They don't show him?
It's not representative of Dabo.
Do they have the coaches on there?
Not really. No.
Well, I mean, it's a yes or no.
I'm trying to think, and I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen.
They have coaches in Madden. That's why I ask.
Right. They do. I haven't yet. Eli Drinkwitz, I haven't seen, but maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it. You know what? I think they might.
How is this not a simple yes or no?
Well, I'm over here doing a lot. I'm a scared kitten in a tree.
What do you mean you're a scared kitten in a tree?
That's what your mom's girlfriend or something. Someone said.
So mom is now sapphic.
That'd be great.
Your mom's boyfriend said that.
Okay.
Let's respect that.
You're right. My apologies. I had a question that I was going to freestyle right there, and now I can't think of it. Oh, well.
Because you're a kitten in a tree?
No, it had something to do with 90s baseball. Now I can't remember it. Damn it.
Boy, it's active in that YouTube chat. Tim is a baseball savant. That's from your mom's boyfriend, but you're saying your mom's girlfriend's arguing with your mom's boyfriend?
Yeah. It's going to be a tough Thanksgiving.
I'm not a savant. I have a weird memory.
Cardinal savant, I would say, like from 82 on. I would say.
Probably so.
But
I don't think that's savant. I think it's weird memory. I think isn't there a difference?
The lines are pretty blurred there.
Really?
I mean, isn't like intelligence just having a really good memory?
No. I don't think so.
Well, like show-off intelligence is having a really good memory.
Oh, you're saying I'm showing off? Is that what you're saying? What is this, turned into parties in the park?
Oh, we talked about Clayton earlier.
It's all full circle. All right, we got a break, Jackson. I'm going to stay on top of the clock today, even though it's already 10:20.
Yes, 10:20.
This is Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Welcome back. This is Balloon Party 101 ESPN. It's presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota. That's where I go to get my cars, family's cars. Get in the YouTube chat. They're talking it over in there, and then get in the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Jackson Bennett Burkett has his series of questions today, which is what again?
Songs in the key of Piddles.
Thank you. Question 2.
Thank you. Do you think in the
hands around
Do you think in the culture of both sports and the world that there is a fear or major resistance to admitting being wrong and or admitting defeat? In the sports world, where have you seen this concept most frequently? Do you think that it could fold into GMs and front offices being less likely to sell heavy at deadlines or off-season? Do consumers not want to be wrong, therefore teams and media folks have to follow suit, or is it vice versa?
Well, I think this is the perfect time to play the Stephen A. Smith sound.
Perfect.
Were you thinking that, or did you have another one?
No.
This is Stephen A. Smith acting like he knows anything about Missouri football yesterday on ESPN, arguing with former Falcons receiver Harry Douglas while Paul Feinbaum sits in the middle and laughs.
AJ hawks it.
Yeah.
And when I look at the SEC right now, I have Georgia, I have Texas, I have Ole Miss third, and I even have Missouri at number 4. I have Bama at 5.
I should throw some water on you.
Well,
you
why
put
not?
Missouri over Alabama.
And I'm gonna give you Kool-Aid. And I'm gonna give you red Kool-Aid on your nice little purple
Missouri?
suit.
What? I mean, did you spike that Kool-Aid without telling us? Did you have somebody throw something? Missouri?
Well, let me ask you a
over
question.
Alabama?
Have you heard of Luther Burton III? Because he a burden on the whole damn SEC, and I should say college football.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
No.
Have you heard of Brady Cook,
No.
the quarterback?
No. I ain't hear nothing when it
Paul, you better coach him up. You better coach him up, Paul.
Of course I heard of it, but I ain't hear nothing when it come to Alabama. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. Now, if you're going to give me Georgia, I'm feeling you. You want to give me Texas, who beat Alabama by double digits.
Stephen A., I'm giving you reality.
Missouri?
I'm giving you reality.
Okay.
I'm telling you that Ole Miss is the third best team in the SEC. And then when I look at Missouri and their schedule is favorable as well.
How about that? Jackson and I were texting last night, and we both are of the opinion that no, he had not heard of Brady Cook or Luther Burton, for the record.
Yeah, there's
But go back to your question now that the audience has heard that audio.
Sure. Do you think in the culture of both sports and the world that there is a fear or major resistance to admitting being wrong and or admitting defeat? In the sports world, where have you seen this concept most frequently? Do you think that it could fold into front offices being less likely to sell heavy at deadlines in the offseason? And do consumers not want to be wrong, therefore teams and media folks have to follow suit? Or is it vice versa, kind of a chicken and egg thing?
Let me take you back to, is it 2018, Jackson?
2018, Tim.
And Justin Thomas had just won in a playoff against Luke List at the Honda Classic. Mm-hmm. And his dear friend, Ricky Fowler, had showed up in support since they all live relatively close to the golf course. And as I would imagine 95% of the audience remembers, Luke List got into trouble off the tee. I don't know if it was nerves. And I said, were you a little surprised to see Justin go after the pin with the 3-wood, considering the trouble that List was in after a few shots? I think he was either line 2 or 3. And he looked at me like I was crazy, obviously. Hadn't seen me play.
Yeah, not familiar with your game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying it.
Yeah.
And he goes, nobody's going to hand you anything out here. You have to go out there and take it. And you know what? That's what Herb Brooks said right before Miracle.
Right.
2004, Kurt Russell, which is the name of your fantasy baseball team. Miracle on Ice, perhaps the worst fantasy baseball team ever, which is the name of your fantasy baseball team. Miracle on Ice, perhaps the worst fantasy baseball team ever assembled.
It's right up there. And one of my favorite movies.
Now go out there and take it.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. So you can sit there in the sidelines and be critical of those in the arena. Teddy Roosevelt, sir. Teddy Roosevelt. It's up to you. And you can play it safe, or you can take your shot. Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight, boys. So if you want to take your shot, take it. And if you're worried about some guy with a dog avatar on Twitter criticizing you for it, then maybe you're not in the right game. Okay?
Yeah.
Are we clear? Mm-hmm. Crystal. Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Kevin Bacon.
Yes. Kevin Bacon, nice little supporting role for him.
Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak.
Yep. I love that movie.
Few Good Men. Think about that. 1992.
Aaron Sorkin, the great Aaron Sorkin.
Okay. There it is. Does that answer your question, or do you need any more?
No, it's sufficient. I just think that there's something about admitting you were wrong or admitting, hey, maybe we did this poorly.
I actually think, and I agree with that part.
Yeah.
But I actually think there's value in saying, I don't know.
Right.
Or saying, yeah, I see that side of it. I think this. I don't know.
Right. But pretending to be an expert on everything.
But here's the issue. And this is coming from the inside, so to speak. The quote-unquote gatekeepers of information, or the people who are compensated to provide, I'm going to use, again, air quotes, if you don't mind me doing it twice in the answer.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Information.
Right.
Are actually compensated in a direct correlation by the more bombastic they are, even if they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Mm-hmm. And so, therefore, the louder one yells, the more asinine the perspective, and the more personal the attack, the higher the compensation for the author of said word vomit. Are we clear?
Crystal.
Nice. It's real done. You picked up on it. Colonel Nathaniel Jessup, or was it Nathan Jessup?
I want to say Nathaniel. I want to say he couldn't handle the truth.
No, he could.
You cut those guys loose.
Nice.
I really do like that movie. That was like when Tom Cruise was really cool.
What are you saying about Tom Cruise now?
Not very cool.
Really? Wow.
Not to me.
Take Smith.
Not to me. I can't take him seriously.
Jeez. Another controversial opinion from Jackson Burkett. I need Piddle's opinion. Better movie, A Time to Kill or A Few Good Men? What you think, bro?
Few
It's
Good
been
Men.
3 and 4.
Few Good Men. I like A Time to Kill a lot, but Few Good Men. Kidding me? Sorkin dialogue, way snappier. I love McConaughey, but no.
I'm going to go with A Few Good Men as well.
Few Good Men. But if we're talking just straight courtroom drama, then there's some really good entries. I like The Verdict a lot. Paul Newman.
Paul Newman.
Boy, would he drink that Bushmill
You like to have a little taste.
and smoke tarts.
Yeah. Oh, we got to have a guy drink. Let's get an Irish guy. I've been protesting that for 40 years.
Primal Fear, really good courtroom drama.
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. Yeah. Yep. Edward Norton. Good for you, Marty.
Let's see. Question, is there really such a thing as truth? Or is it a subjective thing in which we choose that verifies our perceived beliefs? I just read that word for word, Jackson.
You're going to need to give me a couple buttons of peyote before I'm going to be able to answer that one.
Well, all right, I have them. We can
very
do that in the break, and then you can wander through your Sports Center update, and you'll come back and answer that question.
Dark Side of the Piddles.
Dark Side of the Piddles. That's what it's going to be. It was Nathan Jessup.
All right, fair enough.
618.
Well, his full name might have been Nathaniel. I guess if you're a colonel, you're going to use your full name. All right, fair enough. Nathan Jessup.
Yeah, so right there, you admitted you were wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I can.
And you own goodorbad.com, so you're obviously liquid, but.
So liquid. I'm the furthest thing from infallible. I'm probably wrong more often than I'm right. But the times I'm right, I'm like super right. So makes up. It's like Nolan Gorman. Like, sure, he might strike out, 20 times in a week. But,
nobody had a rocket last night.
Yeah, but he might slap 2 bomb skis for you.
314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text line, and YouTube, 101 ESPN channel on YouTube. And you can come on in and engage in the dialogue here on Balloon Party. It's 101 ESPN.
This is Action Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals falls to the hand of the Pirates last night. Final score of 2-1. They take on the Pirates again tonight. 5:40 p.m. Your first pitch in Pittsburgh. Lance Lynn on the bump for the Cardinals. Paul Skenes on the mound for the Pirates. In NBA news, the Miami Heat topped the Memphis Grizzlies in overtime to win the Summer League title out there in Las Vegas. That was another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you. The show is presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota. Come on in and watch Jackson dance on the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. And you can watch me too. And I think I'm cute. I don't know. I don't feel cute today.
You look cute too.
Do I look fat in this shirt?
No, sir. You look great.
Answer on the YouTube chat, just like Tiny PP called me Big Daddy.
That is nice. That's a nice little nickname. Did you ever have a nickname growing up?
I guess I still get called T-Mac.
Yeah. Shout out to Tracy McGrady.
But I think I got to yield to Tracy McGrady.
Yeah. Probably the greatest athlete with a lazy eye.
Huh. That could be a good poll question.
Yeah.
I'll put that on Twitter, on my gift depot. Jackson, what else is going on in your series of questions today?
Okay. Boy, that question stinks.
Well, then why'd you write it?
Yeah.
What was the question? I'll be the judge of it.
All right. This one's bad.
And this is question 3. What does it say for
Well, it's
4?
technically question 4. I skipped another one.
So what are we doing here?
This one
You have
stinks.
6 questions, and you hate at least a third of them.
Yeah, well, I'm trying.
I'm going to go to my email so I can see these things.
I haven't sent it. This isn't in the drafts.
Oh.
Does everything have to go right to be able to win a championship? By that, I mean, do you need almost, if
The answer
not
is yes.
every facet of your team firing on all cylinders to be crowned champ? I think back to championship teams that have won locally, and I feel like that's almost always the case. And even with the teams who fell just short, it was pretty much the same. My question is, can a team win a championship when one element of their game falls flat? Are there any examples of that?
Yeah, I think I do think that there have been teams that could theoretically not be firing on all cylinders, but they're so good that they still win. Mm-hmm. I think locally you could probably go back to the Rams. Mm-hmm. I don't think the guys on the 99 Rams would tell you they played a great game against the Titans.
Sure.
Didn't really play a great game against the Buccaneers either. To get there. Whereas the 2004 Cardinals lost Chris Carpenter, and then they kind of had a pedestrian rotation by the time they got to the playoffs, and the 85 Cardinals lost Vince Coleman. So you'll see that wind up happening. Hell, throughout the course of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's such
a luck box thing.
Totally.
And the Blues really did have that for the vast majority of that run in 2019. And
other guys were getting hurt on the other team, too.
Yeah, and I also just think that was kind of the style of play that they were administering. So, I do think that that's the way that it usually works.
Right, but then you look back to like that first Ravens Super Bowl team we've talked about before, Trent Dilfer. The rest of the team was so good around him that it like might mask that he's not the greatest quarterback of all time. Certainly not even probably a top 5 at that very moment in the NFL. But if you have the other pieces around it, and football is a little different.
Yeah, but it was defense. That was all their defense.
Right, that's the key. And if you can have a defense and a serviceable quarterback.
So, I mean, I made reference to, again, it's probably a stretch, although I feel like the country's starting to pick up on the Pirate thing. Mm-hmm. And then watching them last night, I'm just like, my goodness, they can win, but man, their lineup is really weak.
Hot garbage.
It is really rough, and the statistics, not surprisingly, back that up. But the 2001 Diamondbacks were able to throw Schilling and Randy Johnson in almost all of their games once the playoffs rolled around. I mean, they'd occasionally have, I think Miguel Batista was the other guy in the rotation, if my memory serves, but otherwise they just have Schilling and Johnson.
Yeah, or you go to the Giants, who just threw the mad bum at you like 3 times in the series.
So when you have in baseball 2, we saw it here, Nola Wheeler 2 years ago, that can be enough to carry a team that doesn't have a great lineup. And so maybe that's what we'll end up here with the Pirates, which is why when we talk about the Cardinals situation, I go, if they're really going to do something, I just don't see this rotation, likely anyway, being good enough to carry it through the playoffs. But, if you look at the 2011 Cardinal rotation, you'd go, that wasn't very good. But they had Chris Carpenter.
Bingo. Well, my guessing game yesterday, Tim, got squashed because you had seen the list. But I don't know if you've seen this list because it just came out. The top 25 college football stadiums.
Oh, I
by
have
ESPN.
not. I have not.
All right. So I'm going to have you guess the 5 that are in top 5. Doesn't have to be in any order, just the 5 that are in the top 5.
All right. I'm going to go, what's like a lock? I mean, is it, do you have any of the qualifications? Like, is it atmosphere? Is it quality of the venue? Because that can be two different things.
They asked,
like, Rose Bowl is a sick venue, but I don't think it's like a sick atmosphere.
They asked 14, is ESPN, 14 of the college football writers to rank the best stadiums in the sport. No parameter, no criteria. Writers were asked to submit their top 20 stadiums in order. They awarded points, 20 for first place, 19 for second, and all the way down to 1 point for the one that's voted 20.
Okay.
So there is no real criteria. Doldrum season.
I don't know if there's like an Insta-ship. Do you feel like there's an Insta-ship answer?
I can see the list, but no.
If you go atmosphere, then I go one way, and if you go like venue,
I would try to combine them, but I would say maybe lean more towards the venue.
Okay. Big House?
Big House is number 3.
Okay. Sanford Stadium?
Stanford Stadium out of the top 5.
Bryant-Denny?
Out of the top 5. That is
Neyland.
number 9. That is number 9.
Neyland.
Neyland is number 10.
Jeez.
Tennessee Volunteers.
I mean, am I missing an obvious SEC? So I've gone Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee, and
You are missing a big boy.
Oh, okay, Death Valley.
Yeah.
LSU.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tiger Stadium. Number 1.
That actually, because I was about to say, there's got to be something that I'm missing.
Yeah, big boy.
I don't think Notre Dame would get in there, but I don't.
Number 4, Tim.
It is? Okay. I mean,
Touchdown
I've been
Jesus.
there. I've been to a number of games there.
Yep.
It's historic, but it's not like it's a crazy atmosphere.
Right. I think College Football 25 had them ranked 17 in college football atmosphere. Yeah.
Happy Valley?
Happy Valley's number 5, Tim. Beaver Stadium.
All right, so I got home.
You're missing number
Big Horseshoe?
2. Big Horseshoe, number 7.
I'm all over the place.
You have mentioned the stadium before in this segment.
In the segment?
Yeah, this
Well, then I
segment.
probably should get credit for it.
Well, but it was before the guessing began.
No, I don't even remember. Where am I? Who am I? Why am I here?
It is not
Admiral
one that you
Stockdale,
would
1992.
consider a good atmosphere, but a sick venue.
Okay, what did I say?
Rose Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know.
You're low on this list, eh?
I should have majored in something different. My industry's awful.
Some of the other ones.
All right, you give us a list. What's the criteria? Whatever you want.
Husky Stadium in Seattle.
I've
Got
been
ranked
there.
6.
What's the deal with that?
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, it's unique in that you can take a boat up to it.
Yeah, that's as you
But
can.
I wouldn't
Same
tell
with
you that it was
Neyland.
all that,
Camp Randall, where Wisconsin plays at 8.
See, now that I haven't been there, but that strikes me as a hell of a. See, I guess I'm more in the atmosphere.
You are
mindset.
leaning more atmosphere.
Yeah.
But then also 11, Death Valley and Clemson, ranked 11th.
I haven't been to that one.
The Army Black Knights Stadium is number 12.
I haven't been to that one.
Kyle Field 13. That seems a little low. That's the 12th man at Texas A&M. Autzen.
Somebody asked if Amherst is in there.
Amherst, yeah.
Dan Jansen. You know what? I'm a Dan Jansen guy. I know that you.
He's back. I'm back with
You're
him
back
after
with
that.
him.
That was good. That
You
was
guys
good
are
banter. Autzen 14.
Wait till people, especially if Missouri's undefeated after going through Texas A&M, and they're like number, 6 in the country or something
Probably,
like that.
yeah. They're 10 now.
And like, okay, man, Missouri's playing. God, they got Auburn, Alabama, and Oklahoma the next few games. Who do they have this week? They're at UMass.
The Minutemen.
You'd be like, excuse me? No, the football team. No, I understand. They're playing at Amherst, Massachusetts. The number 6 team from the SEC is playing at Amherst? Yes. Okay. Well, watch it. And then you're going to look at something that's going to look like Kirkwood Stadium.
Worse, actually.
And that's where Missouri will be playing on, I think it's October 12th or 13th.
Yep.
And Jackson, you're going up there because you love the New England foliage, you say.
Well, I was going to go and visit some friends who live in Boston.
But when in reality, it's about the foliage.
Of course, yeah. Well, yes, to see the Leafs turn, seasons change. But I realized that UMass is actually nowhere near Boston. It's like the same distance from St. Louis to Columbia.
Right.
So it doesn't get there. Does this seem odd? Does this seem low to you that Ben Hill Griffin, a.k.a. the Swamp, at 20?
I have been to the Swamp, but not for a game.
Same. I've seen the it seems awesome.
It's kind of a unique outdoor for what it is on the inside.
And it's kind of built rare in Florida, but underground because it's a little North Florida, so there's like a little underground element to it.
I don't know. I don't know. When I hear Camp Randall, I buy in on that.
Yeah.
Swamp, or not Swamp, Death Valley, LSU, all day. Big House, Happy Valley, Horseshoe. Again, atmospheres. I don't know.
Am I missing some on this Army Stadium? Because it's old, 100 years old.
Never in.
I guess the atmosphere, because there's a bunch of cadets. 1,000 cadets line the field and unfurl an American flag that stretches from goal line to goal line before more jump from a helicopter with a game ball and parachute down midfield. That sounds really cool.
There you go.
I would like to see that.
Number 12.
I would like to see that. So count me in on Michie Stadium. Seems like that's in West Point, New York, of course, Tim.
West Point, sure. Absolutely. All right. You're welcome to get involved in the conversation. Nick Housen says that's a knock on Kirkwood to compare UMass State.
True.
I mean, what a scene that's going to be.
It's brutal. It's so weird it's just so weird. I understand that they tried moving it and getting a different game there, but
I think they were trying as recently as like a couple months ago, as crazy as it sounds.
I'm sure.
To like figure out another way.
Literally play anyone else.
Yeah.
Like play any of the like regional D1 schools.
What a scene that's going to be.
But you have to play it on the road, too. Like, I guess you kind of have to, because you can't just have another home game like that.
Jackson, it's a balloon party here on 101 ESPN. Welcome back, Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you. Jackson, what do we got here? 6 minutes left. Make the most of them.
Oh, I always do. Some news and notes. Joe Buck on the call of the Cardinal game on Monday night, next Monday. Joe Buck back. Looking forward to hearing Joe in the booth. And do you think that's something he could return to maybe in a more full-time role at one point in his career? Do you think he misses it at all?
No. Being real direct.
Fair.
No, he gets to call however many NFL games and then spend a lot of time with his family. And I don't think that there's any appetite for that to become a regular thing.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Not much.
Was that a question in the Little Piddles thing?
It was kind of my...
And if so, what were the two questions that you thought were bad?
Well, I thought one I asked about championships was bad.
What was the one about championships?
Do you need every team, every facet of your game to be working? I don't think it's my strongest stuff. But, sometimes you don't have your fastball, so you start throwing sliders. Yesterday, watching some USA basketball under those FIBA rules had me thinking, what is one rule change that has been made across sports over the last decade that you really like and one you really don't? And what's a rule change you would like to see implemented over the next few years?
I guess I like the pitch clock.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I really dislike college football, the NFL pass interference being a spot foul. To me, I absolutely despise it.
It is allowed for the underthrown ball that the receiver goes back on the defensive back to become a play. It's
not like they don't have the solution. It's a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down, just like in college football. That is the right thing. That's the accurate play. There's no, what's the defense against that? I just don't get why DPI is a spot foul in the NFL.
Well, I suppose the counter would be then the defense, if they do get beat, then they're just going to pull the guy down.
But they don't really do that in college, do they? I don't see it.
I'm just telling you that I think that's the counter to it.
No, and I think I've heard that counter before. If that happened in college a lot, I would buy it. I just don't think people have the reaction time to be like, oh crap, I'm beat. Now let me try to tackle this person who's about to catch the ball. But if they could do that, I would say if you could do that in the time, you could probably just swat the ball away.
What does this mean? I didn't expect Jackson to run the picket fence offense today. What does that mean?
Well, don't get caught watching the paint dry.
Right. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I don't want to be the decoy. I want to be Jimmy Chitwood. I want to shoot the rock.
Hockey overtime. No going back behind the red line. That's from Thanks Dad.
Can't really speak to that. I'm not positive. The red line, is that the line in the middle? The blue line is the line on the goal.
Are you gonna tell the audience where the blue line is?
Well, there's two blue lines.
Oh, what a moment!
There's two blue lines.
What a moment! Jamie Rivers had to be stunned.
Yeah, and then there's the slot. There's no line to define where the slot is. Just if you know, you know. Bill Clinton, and then there's the line that's on the goal. Is that the blue line or is that red?
Here's what I know: Owen Nolan from the red line, Roman Turek, April 2000.
Is that the half line? Is the half line red?
Go up to Jamie Rivers and ask him about the half line.
What do they call it? Center line?
Center ice.
Center ice, okay. Is that red?
It is.
Okay, all right. The goal line is blue, though. Well, now I'm confused where we're calling the blue line. And where's the point?
This show still wins awards even when the producer isn't firing on all cylinders. That's a Marcia's burger.
It's true. We can still win championships when I'm not playing my best.
The guy who sent in the text about the picket fence said, I meant he's running out the clock on the show because he brought a whole lot of nothing a day. Yes, the doldrums. That's from the 314.
Not the case. I have a really deep question I'm going to save for tomorrow when we have more time.
Okay, give me an idea what it is. Give me a little wet my whistle.
It's about how college sports in particular, something we've talked about in TMA the last few days, have become so charged and how people feel such an attachment to that.
But do you think that that's new? Or do you think we're just becoming aware of it because Missouri football is, at the moment, experiencing momentum and hopefully laying a base for a foundation for the next few years?
Agreed, yeah. No, I'm trying to deep dive and find when it kind of started. What do you think the genesis of it was? Why do you think it is the way it is?
It's a great question, and I know it's 10:58, but yeah, I think it's a source of pride for people,
sure,
especially when they're coming from areas that don't have professional teams.
Right.
I mean, when I worked in Little Rock, it was year-round Razorbacks. There was a sports talk, I think there still is a sports talk station in Little Rock, and I think it does really well too. And it's year-round Razorbacks. I mean, imagine in, April talking essentially all Missouri football. You like that idea. You like that idea. But what if the Blues are playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Well, we'll figure out where the red line is.
Unbelievable.
People do not like that I don't know that. That is not going over well, as you can imagine. It is not playing great. I wish it was an act. It's not. I just don't know.
Offsides is the blue line, dumbass!
Offsides. Offsides is the blue line? Well, what about icing? It doesn't have to cross multiple blue lines. How do they paint on the ice? That's another. That's a tough one.
You didn't just drop by. I think Jamie might be off though this week.
No, they're out at Centene.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
No. I've been to the little music thing.
Why don't you drop by
and
and just say, "Hey, what color are these lines?"
And say that, and then turn and leave Maryland Heights. 20 minutes out of my commute.
Hey guys, I got a topic for you. What color are the lines?
Hey Stalter, can you lead with where the lines are, just to inform the people? You're at I think they're at the Blues youth hockey camp, and I think some kids out there need to know.
Tim, I played baseball at Central Arkansas, and it's all Razorbacks down there. It's Brad from Waterland. So, I mean, this isn't specific to Arkansas. I'm just saying for college football, that's what it's all about. Right. It's a source of pride from where you grew up. It's not necessarily about going to school there.
Sure.
That's a unique thing.
And that's what we're trying to get here.
That's where I think it's starting to. This is the first time in my life I've seen that, at least momentum, but you got to carry it over this year. All right, we got to wrap it up, Jackson. Jackson's just shaking his head as he reads the text. You're getting to him. You might be able to fire a knockout after the bell.
Offsides the blue line, dumbass. That was good.
All right, BK and Ferrari are next. For Jackson Burkett, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Balloon Party on 101 ESPN.